Hey, welcome to Newsbreak Auto Week's Daily Update. I'm Deanna, and here's what we have for you today. Is a standard issue Bentley Azure not quite enough for you? Well, the luxury automaker has something new that will fit you to a T. Next week's Los Angeles Auto Show is an interesting mixture of big shows and no-shows. And the competitors at this year's Race of Champions will test their mettle in one of the wildest cars to hit the track. Your Auto Week Newsbreak starts right now. The Bentley Azure has several qualities that make it a distinctive ultra-luxury car. But it can be better, as Bentley will show next week at the LA Auto Show. Dale has the story.
Bentley will add a T version of the Azure convertible to its lineup, which will go along with the Arnage T as the top-of-the-line Bentley variants. The car will debut at the LA Auto Show. It will use the same 6.8-liter twin-turbo engine that powers the Arnage T. That engine makes 500 horsepower and 732 pounds-feet of torque. The extra power will improve the 0 to 60 time of the Azure T to 5.2 seconds and push the top speed to 179 miles per hour. Exterior changes for the T package include 20-inch 5-spoke wheels, a retractable hood ornament, and a dark tinted grille. Prices haven't been announced yet, but we expect the Azure T to start around $350,000 when it goes on sale a year from now.
Thanks, Dale. Speaking of the LA show, the economic crisis in the industry is prompting some last-minute shuffling of plans among automakers. Let's go back to Dale.
Well, Deanna, there will be less flash and pizzazz at the LA show next week. GM, for example, has pulled the plug on its debuts and press conference, and will now show only the Saab 9X Air concept we first saw in Paris last month. Chrysler won't hold a press conference, is rolling out the electric vehicles it unveiled a couple months ago, and is hitting local dealers with the bill for its show stand. But not everyone is going undercover in LA. Ford still has big plans and will roll out the restyled 2010 Mustang. Nissan will launch the 370Z Roadster and Cube small car. And CEO Carlos Ghosn will give the opening speech of the press preview day. Also, luxury brand Infiniti has the G37 convertible, and Lexus will debut the restyled RX wagon. But the belt tightening is starting to take a toll on the Detroit show. Today's LA Times reports that Ferrari, Land Rover, Rolls-Royce, and Suzuki won't have stands at the show in January. Auto execs and journalists love to carp about the January weather in Detroit, but this chill is purely about saving cash.
There's nothing like the Race of Champions. You put the world's best drivers into a bunch of different cars and let them mix it up on a track inside Wembley Stadium. And this year's car lineup has a new player. What's this about, Dale?
It's fitting that an event that pits racers from around the world against each other would put them in a road car that's a thinly disguised race car. Organizers of the Race of Champions have added the KTM X Bow to the lineup of cars for this year's event. The X Bow is a low-slung, lightweight two-seater built in Austria. Power comes from a turbocharged Audi engine rated at 240 horsepower. With a curb weight of just 1,738 pounds, the X Bow will rocket from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds. The X Bow is part of a 6-car lineup that includes the Ford Focus WRC08, the Fiat Abarth 500, the Solution F prototype, and the Race of Champions car. NASCAR star Carl Edwards and biker Travis Pastrana will represent the U.S. in the 16-man driver lineup, which also includes Michael Schumacher and Jenson Button. The Race of Champions runs December 13th and 14th. That's the news in our car world.
But wait, there's more. As we mentioned yesterday, Ferrari won the Constructors' Championship in Formula One this year. But that was hardly any comfort for the fact that Ferrari driver Felipe Massa lost the Drivers' Championship to McLaren's Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari president Luca de Monzimolo admitted that he destroyed a TV after Hamilton won the championship by 1 point in the last race of the season. When a television breaks, it makes a terrible bang, Reuters quoted Monzimolo saying. My daughter in the other room was giving an awful fright. Luckily, we had another television, so I was able to watch the podium ceremony, which I enjoyed. Given the millions that Ferrari spends on its Formula One team, we'll bet there's a spare TV to be found somewhere. I'm Deanna, and that's your Auto Week Newsbreak for today.